Hi everybody, I'm Chris. This is Christopher Farms. Welcome back to the channel. Maybe I should be welcoming myself back to the channel because I haven't done any video content in quite a while. So I don't know, I got a lot of stuff to do around here and I thought, why not bring you guys along to show you a couple of things. Maybe you learn something, maybe it's entertaining. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm out here today finishing up a project that I have going through the National Conservation Resource Service, or the NRCS. The NRCS is a conservation group of minded folks underneath the United States Department of Agriculture, and they have funding for different projects for conservation. And one of them is this native wildflower patch that I've been working on for a few years now, and because of some delays and things, it's been extended, but I need to get it finished. And I've got most of it planted, but come to find out, I was missing some stuff, and that's what I'm following up on today. I've got 9 varieties of native flowers and grasses that need to go into my pollinator patch. And my pollinator patch runs this side of the property. My property's narrow and long. So down this side, where the tree line is at basically, and on the other side of my property where the tree line's at, I'm converting that into just pollinator patch. And so of the 9 varieties that I was supposed to plant, I actually didn't get 3 of the graminoid or the grasses at all, and then I was missing some seed amounts on the common milkweed. The milkweed's important because it attracts monarchs, and on their migration route they'll feed and lay larvae on the milkweed. So that's what I'm doing today. It's all funded through the National Resource Conservation Service, NRCS, and as soon as I get this stuff planted, I will be able to get paid. That'll be nice. So when I originally got my seed and things, I didn't actually know that I was supposed to get what they call technical service through the program that would tell me specifically what I need. I just bought what I thought I needed, and there are actually some pretty specific guidelines on how much you need to plant and of what variety. And of the 9 that I should have planted, I missed 3 and I was short on 1. So here's what I got to plant today. This is what is that? Oh, side oats. This is a grass, and I'll be distributing this equally. I'll show you how I do that later. And this is blue stem, I believe, another grass. This is purple top, which is another grass. That looks pretty neat from what I've seen it online. So I hadn't planted any of these grasses, and from what I read, the importance of the grasses, native grass, don't think like lawn grass or Kentucky bluegrass or something that you'd see in somebody's lawn. These are native grasses that would have been in the state of Indiana 120, 140, 200 years ago when it was first getting settled and whatnot like that. The importance of the grasses is suppression of non-native varieties. I guess technically if they're not wanted, you could call them weeds. So weed suppression is one of the purposes of the grass. And then the milkweed that I have here, the common milkweed, I needed that. I had some of it, but I was short on it, so that's going to make up for that. So I've got those 4 things that I need to plant throughout here, and it's important that I get it done now because I think it's the milkweed that actually needs 2 months of cold conditions to actually properly germinate. So it's a January 2nd, so January, February, March, I'm right at the edge of that 2-month window. So I'm gonna get started. Okay, I am starting my 3rd row. Basically what I'm doing is this is the pollinator patch, the strip that runs up and down the property. And I'm just clearing out a strip along like that. I'm on my 3rd one. I don't want to just broadcast this seed because in this area it wouldn't really make much ground contact. It'd be laying on the tops of leaves and things like that. And if we don't get a lot of snow to move things around, it might not make ground contact at all. So I'm just raking this back in a row, and I'm going to go around and do that every 20 paces around the property, and then I'll go back and I'll count how many of these that I have, and then I'll divide my seed up and make sure each one gets it. So this first round is just doing a little bit of clearing, and that way I'm going to know, that way I know that I'm going to get contact with the ground and my seed. So you guys probably don't want to stick around and see that, and I talked in the video yesterday, so you guys probably don't want to hear that again. I'm not following a Jeep, so I don't know. So I'm going to try and get this done. I don't know. My buddies called the other day, or called earlier, and said that they were going to go to the candy store, and see about getting some silenced candy. And so I'll probably go with them. And so I might not get this done right now. I might not get it done today, but I'm going to get a good lead on it, because the sooner I get this stuff planted, the sooner the contract pays out. So, all right, catch up with you guys here in a little while. Okay, that's done. It's hot. At any rate, I got done putting in my slots. I don't know if you can see them in the video. There's one back here, and there's one right here. There's 2 more I can see up there. So 17 of them. So I got to divide my seed up 17 ways. And this way, like I'd said before, I'm going to get good I'm going to get good ground contact by pulling back the leaf matter and the different things that was on the ground. But I've got a lot of that grass seed, and I'll probably broadcast a little bit of it too. Definitely going to get my milkweed in these slots I've made, because I want to have all it have good contact, and I don't have as much of it. There won't be very much per slot. I don't know what you want to call this, row. Maybe row is better. But I do have a lot of the grasses, so I think I will broadcast a little bit of that out. But swoosh, it's a little warm. All right, off to get my seed. It's down there. First up, my milkweed and my purple top, and these are the I have the least of this, and then this is the second least, or whatever. So I'm basically just grabbing a pinch of this, and pinch that, and then spread it in, and it's pretty lightweight and blows around. So if there's a breeze, you got to get fairly close to the ground. And I'll walk down one way of my row, and then I'll come back the other direction and grab a pinch of this and sprinkle it in there. And I think that should work. I should have pretty close to getting 17 out of this. And then grab some purple top. I got to be careful that I don't dump this. That wouldn't be good. This purple top's really light, and it is blowing around pretty good. And there's a little bit of a breeze. So maybe I'm using a little bit more than a pinch. Oh well, that's okay. That's pretty much that. And my other grasses, there's a lot more of that. So I'll definitely put some in these rows, but I'll broadcast that as I go along too. So a lot of walking around. Let's see, I walked one to make my rows, and I walked one to count the rows. I'll walk one to broadcast this or plant this. I'll walk again, but that's okay. I got my new Fitbit. I've had it I got it in November, I think. So it's good to have a Fitbit again. Anyway, back to it. Okay, got the purple top and the milkweed all spread out. For this, pretty much just, I'm still wanting to get some in my row, because I know I'm going to get good contact in there. I don't want to get too much in there though, because there's a lot of seed in here, and these are a bigger seed too. They've got more shell or shuck to them, or whatever you want to call them. So I'm spreading these out a little bit more, because I got bigger bags of these. So just basically the same process though, and so spread some out there, get some here, and then I got a spot over here that's bare, not a row that I made. I think I pushed some stuff out of the way over there, so I'll hit that too, get some of this blue stem here. This blue stem's pretty light stuff, and if there's any breeze at all, it carries it around. And we're not done with winter yet, so we'll get a couple more snows, so it'll help move the ground around, move the stuff around, get this stuff down onto the ground. But yeah, it's pretty much just spreading this out. I'll have one more walk after this one because I want to pull this leaf matter and debris back over the top of the exposed soil so birds don't get in here and eat all my seed. So all 4 seed varieties planted. Those last 2, the grasses, I really did broadcast quite a bit. I definitely hit any bare and open spots that I could find that didn't have any leaf matter or stuff on them, and then even just, you know, a little bit more. One of those seeds was pretty lightweight, and it would get caught by the wind as well. And so broadcast those pretty good across the entire area. Definitely getting some down into my rows. Now I've got my first 2 rows covered back up, and like I said, I'm just going to cover this up so the birds can't come along and easily get the seed. You know, they could get through this and find it, I guess, but this will give me a little bit of protection, almost like a straw. You know, when you plant grass in your yard, you can cover it in straw. It helps keep it moist and birds from eating it, whatever not. So just have 14 and a half more of these rows to do, and I'll be done. Got that done, got everything covered up, and I think that'll help. Birds maybe would get to it if not, and then if it gets dry, might help retain some moisture over the seeds. And at any rate, got that done. So next step on that, and final step hopefully, is to go inside and email my conservationist to let her know that that seed's in, and then hopefully see that funding show up in my account. Most of these NRCS grants are reimbursement grants. So you outlay the money for whatever the project is going to be, you complete the project, and then they'll come and inspect or do whatever they need to do, and then they'll give you transfer the money to your account, electronic transfer. I hear Speedy Cat. So that's done. That has been a project that has gone on for way too long. I am super happy to have that finished, and it is, oh yeah, about time to head to the candy store. So I need to get in and get cleaned up. But first, what's the next project going to be? Oh, hey, I got this wood boiler last winter, I think. I don't remember. It needed some work, and I think I've got most of that done. There's no insulation on it, a lot of stuff. But this and that, the greenhouse, it needs to come into action probably in about a month and a half. And it is full of weeds, huge weeds. It went unused all last year and neglected. So there's a ton of like huge weeds in there. You can't even pull them out. Oh, it's going to be horrendous. So that's probably going to be my next project, getting this wood boiler hooked up and plumbed in. I've got all the components except for maybe some of the plumbing tees and fittings and things like that. But for the most part, I got everything. I got to get the greenhouse cleaned up. I'm going to get heat in it. And if I get it going here in the next month or two, there's no reason why I couldn't heat it and start some plants. Important to have the greenhouse going early because the high tunnel can take plants way earlier than you plant them outside. So typically around here, you plant on Mother's Day. In the high tunnel, you're probably going to plant a month to a month and a half before that, which means you got to have seedlings started real quick. Man, I'm crunching my timeline as I sit here and think about it, and I don't have any time. I need to get this going, but not now. Now, I'm going to go to the candy store, maybe get some 300 banana ostriches, because I need some. I don't know, whatever. Talk to you guys later. The sticker bush is right there. Nice, that needs to go. I gotta pee. It's not connected. See, that was the problem before. Did you want to be on the video? Okay, come here. Are you gonna speak to us? Oh, hi. Say hello, Speedy Cat. Say hello to the people. Do you want to be on the camera? Hello, Speedy Cat. Is that you? Can you see you? Huh? A Speedy Cat. Because he's a Speedy Cat. I have a habit of naming my animals after the things that they do. Speedy Cat is a speedy cat. Spot has spots. And Half Pint was just a half pint when I got her. Speedy Cat.